Hello.
Good evening.
How's everyone doing this morning?
Wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm good. Welcome to Saturday morning
Saturday morning.
at Warm and Cozy Quilting.
It is.
I'm Danielle.
Hi, Danielle. I'm Jason. Good to see you.
Yeah, you've seen me all day.
They didn't know that. They
Yes,
just
they
jumped
did.
on. They had no idea.
They knew.
Maybe we just teleport in. Yes, that was a lot of noise. I'm sorry. And then we're just here all of a sudden.
Right.
Because, we fancy like that. We
Right.
have teleportation devices.
Yeah. Anyway,
That's not true.
we love that you come and hang out with us and have
Absolutely.
your coffee or whatever.
Whatever you're drinking this morning. Nobody's judging. It could be 5 o'clock wherever you are.
Okay, so maybe you can't see my cup very well, but maybe
How fun
I
is
should.
that?
Got Prince on my cup. I love Prince.
Artist,
Mhm.
formerly known as
Right.
something. Pick the name. Good guy. Great musician. Amazing musician.
Yes.
Very talented singer-songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Anyway, we're not talking about Prince.
We're not
today.
here to talk about Prince
We're going to
today.
talk about quilting.
We are in the quilting world, so therefore we talk quilting. All right. So, as you're jumping on, say hi.
Good morning.
We will say hi to you here all in a minute.
Yep.
As we're waiting for y'all to jump on, we're going to take care of a couple quick announcements. And also, just so you know, today we're going to talk about sewing machine maintenance.
Mm.
Mainly because
Intriguing.
I've had a lot of conversations lately with some folks about proper way to do stuff, or I'll start to open a machine to fix something real quick and I've never done that.
It's okay.
It's okay, guys. It's okay. And we're going to talk about it. I'm going to help you out. I'm going to remind you of a few things. It's going to be fantastic.
Perfect.
Okay, so first and foremost, biggest, most important thing to remember. Next Saturday is June 28th, 2025.
It is?
It is. You know what that means?
We're not here.
Me and her are not here, but show and tell will still be happening.
Right.
So it will be the Sadie and Kelly show again. So that'll be exciting. But it's show and tell because it's last Saturday of the month. I've talked to a lot of people. I'm hoping all these people show up again with all their awesome quilts.
You have 1 week?
You have 1 week to get your show and tell done. Ready, set, go.
Oh, no.
Oh, was she going to make something for show and tell?
Yeah.
Oh.
We're going to find out about it today on the TikTok. So go follow us on TikTok.
Go
so
follow.
Find out what.
But we posted on Reels too.
Yeah.
Sure.
It goes to TikTok first. So.
If you want to be first to see whatever we're talking about, because I don't even know. I guess I'm going to have to get on the TikTok and see what's happening.
TikTok.
TikTok.
Ticky.
Something like that. Anyway, so beyond that,
Right.
next Saturday, show up here. Show and tell.
Yep.
Opens
In
the door,
person?
9:15 a.m. You walk in, you find a place to hang out. Show and tell.
Woo woo.
Starts at 9:30, so we lock the door at 9:28. So if you show up at 9:32,
Trish
They
will go,
she might. Or she might just open the door quietly, because that's how Mom be. That's great. Anyway, come in and see what everybody else is working on. Get inspired for what you're working on. Show off what you're working on. Or just come in to see some cool stuff. It'll be a good time. And I'm sure because we won't be here, they will do something ridiculous sale-wise. So
Yeah, and
You won't be
also,
here for
and the reason we're not going to be there is because I'm teaching at a guild.
you'll be teaching at your guild that Saturday.
Pam, it doesn't matter. You can be on Facebook.
We put it on all the
We
platforms.
put it on all the things.
That's
but
okay.
it goes there first, and then, approximately 2 seconds before it goes other places.
Yeah,
So,
like a
I
split
just like to give
second.
you trouble, Pam. It's okay.
It's fine.
so yeah, it's really fine.
So we'll be at T&T Guild, which is not what you think it is.
It's not like bombs and explosives.
No, they are
Like that
fancy.
only.
They are fancy, but not that fancy. Anyway, that's the Glen Carbon Guild. They're awesome. We'll be doing a workshop there on Saturday.
Yeah.
But before then, we're going to come visit the folks over at the Bits and Pieces Guild.
Whoop, whoop.
That'll be a good time. We'll be there for their meeting on Tuesday.
Yep,
For
Tuesday
your
evening.
trunk
we'll be
show.
there. Do a trunk show, show them all the cool things that we do. And then on Wednesday, we're teaching them.
You are.
Wednesday, watch for a fun situation as far as the Wednesday
Yeah, there
show.
should be a Wednesday sale, even
Yep.
though it will not be us again, because again, Stripology is overruling her life, which is
Right.
fine.
It's totally fine because I'm a
but-
stripologist.
Somebody will be in charge of that, and I'm going to bet that Sadie is going to be responsible for that one. Good luck, Sadie.
Also,
Thank you, Sadie.
can you click on a calendar? Can I see a calendar?
Give me 1 second there. Let me just mouse. There it is.
Because what is... Okay,
So.
so everyone, Wednesday is
Yes.
Sadie's birthday.
Is it really?
And she's going to do a sale that day, probably. right?
Oh, a happy Sadie birthday?
A happy Sadie birthday. And then she'll be doing your Saturday morning video with co-host Kelly, probably.
I think her
Or
birthday's
maybe-
next Saturday or next Thursday or something
Oh, yeah,
like that.
yeah. Because, Kelly's is next week, too. So it is like birthday week
Mm-hmm.
for those two.
That
Not
is
for
for
everyone,
those two, not the
but
rest of us. But
So watch Wednesday night. See what's happening.
yeah, for sure.
Watch Saturday. Come see us Saturday.
Absolutely. Also, in August, we do have the HandiQuilter hands-on event, that 2-day class that's going to happen Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, Sunday. I would strongly recommend, if you're interested in a long arm, you recently purchased a long arm. I have to sneeze. Sorry. I was breathing lint earlier, so I might as well just be pepper. Anyway, if you're interested in a long arm, that event is perfect for you. You're going to definitely want to get signed up for it. It's 2 days hands-on. So Thursday the 21st, Friday the 22nd, or you sign up for Saturday the 23rd and Sunday the 24th.
These are August dates.
August dates. 2 days hands-on, lots of information, lots of good time. We'll have Judy Hayes from HandiQuilter teaching that
Nice.
class, so it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
So come in and check it out. Okay.
Nice. Okay, we have a first timer.
Hi, Kim.
Good morning, Kim.
Good to see you on.
Yeah, so glad to have
Fantastic.
you.
For the rest
Hanging
of
out
you,
with
we're
us.
going to roll back up here. We're
Yeah,
going to say hi to everybody else. We let her jump line because it's the first time here. So everybody say hi to Kim.
Yeah, also, I'm terrible at seeing things over there.
And
And
reacting,
then sometimes I'm
yeah.
like, oh. Anyway, okay.
All right, so good morning 2.0
Good morning,
in Tennessee. Good
Deborah.
to see you. Sunny days. Hello, Karen. Good
Hi,
morning.
Karen.
And good morning, Janet. Good
Good
to see you
morning,
on. Hello,
Janet.
Pam.
Hi, Pam.
Susan, good morning, all.
Good morning,
In the
good
midst of packing
morning.
and preparing for retreat that starts Tuesday.
That
Nice.
sounds like fun.
That'll be a good time. Good time. Good morning, Pat.
Hi,
Nice
Pat.
to see you on. Hello, Christy. Good morning.
morning.
There's Joni. Hello, Joni. Southern Illinois
morning.
represent. We got Janet. Good morning.
Of the Janets.
Of the Janets, TM.
So now both Janets.
Both
are-
Janets are hanging out with us.
Good
of the
morning,
TM.
Janets.
Pam, we still have no tic tac, get it. Good morning, Carol. She's been
Hi,
putting some really
Carol.
cool stuff out in the collective lately. Have you
I
seen her
know,
stuff?
yes.
Ah, she's
So
talented.
cool.
Love
So
it.
if this is your first time on, we also have our own little Facebook group
We do.
called the
Quilters Collective.
Quilters Collective,
Yep.
where people can go on there and post their pictures of what they're working on and not get the, oh, cool, can you make me one of those like tomorrow in a different color and I'm not going to pay you anything?
Yeah, something like that. We don't need that.
So
in
we
ours.
don't have that in the Quilters Collective.
Right. Good morning, Marianne. And good
Morning.
morning, Karen. Good to see you on as well. Over on the YouTube, we have Sadie saying hello.
Hi, Sadie.
Hi, Sadie.
You're on YouTube today? Okay.
Speaking of, if you didn't know, we are on YouTube as well as Facebook, so you can be on either or.
Mm-hmm.
If you're enjoying this conversation, you enjoy what you see today, do me a huge favor. On Facebook, hit that like and or join, share, follow button, all that stuff. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps us a whole lot. And if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. It's free also. Again, helps us. Doesn't cost you anything. Also, it will notify when we are live.
Right.
It's a lot easier that way, which is
Yeah.
really kind of super nice. So be sure to do all that. We appreciate it. Again, thank you. Good morning, Jane
Hi, Jane.
from Colorado.
She's
a
hanging
bit of a
out
drive.
in Colorado today, huh?
Apparently,
Yeah.
she probably teleported out there. I hope so.
Nobody can teleport anywhere, Jason.
Soon, my friends. All right. Last little bit of information before we dive into general maintenance of our machine. Don't forget the county fair, Monroe County Fair. We'll be there.
Whoop, whoop.
We'll be there
Yay.
the entire week. The dates of the
I'm
county
sorry
fair.
if my face is like.
Not excited because it's kind of warm because it's the county fair.
It's always the last week of July.
July
So-
20th through the 27th,
Okay, so
2025.
to me it almost feels like it's a little bit earlier, but it's still the middle of July.
Yeah, it's because that last couple days of July run into August in that
Yeah,
week, so that's
They shift it forward.
full week of
But
July.
yeah, and we're inside.
We are.
Where it's supposed to be air conditioned,
It's
but
better.
it's air conditioned to 87 instead of 100.
I will take 87 over 115 any day.
Yes, but still 87 way too hot.
You'll be all right.
Okay.
You'll be
I
fine.
start to melt a little bit. Anyway, it's always fun though. We meet great people. We
Yeah.
see lots of stuff. It's a good time.
It
So,
always is a good time, so we do enjoy it. Okay, so you ready to dive into this?
Oh yeah.
So I'm curious, and I need you all to give me answers on this because this is kind of a quick poll of the audience and yourself.
Okay.
With what regularity do you clean your machine? Period. How often do you clean your machine? What's your general routine like? Do you go once a month? Do you go once a year when you take it into the service guy? Is it we're supposed to clean it? Question mark?
So,
I do it whenever my padre takes my machine and cleans it because he's my tech guy.
So you wait for a service tech, which could be an eternity.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
right,
Love that.
especially, okay, maybe some of you are married to a mechanic, or you're married to a contractor who goes and puts in things in people's house, like
Sure.
they update and they upgrade for people, right? Or you're married to a lawn guy,
Yeah.
okay? I bet that the mechanic's wife's car is not fixed.
I mean, my mother can attest to that one. That's how that works.
I know that
He is a
I am
mechanic.
last in line when it comes to, hey, my machine's making this noise.
I know it is. I've been told
like,
it is.
Yeah, okay, well, I don't have time to do. Anyway, I love him, and it is great. But, yeah, that tends to be kind of how it happens. So I clean my machine a lot because if it does one little clicking sound that I don't like, I'm like, what's happening? I think I'm a little bit oversensitive now because I've had machines before. This is how I feel like we all start. I had a machine, and all of a sudden, the feed dogs don't work anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know why. Oh, you're supposed to take that. I can do that. There's like, but I'm supposed to use a screwdriver. I didn't think I was supposed to take anything apart.
I mean, you put a lot of money into a machine, and the concept
Yes.
of taking anything off of that machine yourself to clean inside is
Scared that I'm
terrifying.
going to be the one who breaks something. And
Absolutely.
Then, you voided your warranty. You took it apart.
It doesn't work that way, guys.
But it doesn't work that way.
But I can
And
appreciate the concern.
Now I clean it all the time.
Absolutely. And I'm going to look at everybody's answers at this point because we've had enough time for some folks to answer.
But yeah, we can.
Sadie cleans her machine after every large project, every couple small projects. That's a good way to do it. Let's see here. Vicky does it after 2 to 3 bobbins. Karen every 2 or 3 projects. Carol every 4th bobbin. I'm loving the consistency in picking up bobbins.
Right,
I do like
exactly,
that
yeah.
idea. Carol cleans and oils her machine every time she sits down, which is
we
daily.
did have somebody who said not often enough.
I missed that one. I apologize. Yes, Miss Rebecca. Sometimes that's real.
For real.
That's happen.
I definitely don't change my needle often enough.
Yeah, that's also happens. So Carol's cleaning it daily, sometimes twice in one session if the machine sounds different, and her machine's all metal gears, and that's true. You got to know the type of machine you're working with. Even manuals will tell you if you're using it for X number of hours, you should be putting oil on that. So if you're 12 hours working, you probably should have oiled it at least twice. Kim does after each big project, which is awesome. I love that. Pat, so happy that 255 is open. Oh, that's a whole nother thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's nothing about machine maintenance. But yes, we're happy about that as well.
Yes.
Just in case you were like, I can't go down there because the interstate's closed and they have me detouring. Nah,
Not
straight
closed
shot now.
anymore.
It's perfect. We love it.
But also, that is one of those things that I'm really surprised about because it's like 6 weeks early.
It was so
and
awesome.
there's never been a road construction
Road crew
that
6
was
weeks early.
done
Get
early.
outta here.
What are they doing now? Sitting at home?
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Maybe. Deborah, let's see, she cleans it twice a month, goes to the sewing repair shop once a year. Perfect. It's the way you want to do that, I'm sure.
Perfect.
And Susan cleans the service when I adopt a new machine and I swap machines out and do a total service. Love that.
Awesome.
Cool. All right. What does this say? Sadie said it's like floss conversation. I should change my needle more than I do, but I don't. Tell my machine tech. Well, I can assure you your machine tech probably knows. That's okay. All right. So, general maintenance. The actual answer, there really isn't one. You really want to check with your service manual. Your user manual will tell you how to service your machine properly. I won't tell you that you should do it X number of hours all the time or X number of bobbins.
Because everybody's is different.
Every machine acts a little different, but I do encourage you to do it with some set of regularity. Be it every day, every time you sit down, every couple of bobbins, every couple times a month. Whatever it is, be consistent, especially if you're doing this a lot.
Well, yeah. So this is supposedly a hobby.
Whatever that means.
Right? But, so a lot of times we have lots of friends who are not using their machine all that often. Every couple of months they're getting it out, they're using it for a project.
Yeah.
And they're not using it all that often. But for those of us that our hobby is our life because we love it,
Right.
then, we sew a lot. So we need to, make sure we're taking care of it.
I mean, you want to have your tools taken care of, right? I mean, you don't want it falling apart on you. That's never any fun.
Right.
Pam does it every 2 to 3 bobbins, and depending on type of project. Linty fabrics make a difference. That's the other thing that's your variable in this conversation.
Right.
Depending on what you're working with, the type of thread that you're working with. If you're working with a batting that's particularly linty, like all these things will be very important.
That machine that I was talking about,
process,
that all of a sudden the feed dogs don't work, and I thought the machine was broke. I would make rag quilts all the time. So lots of flannel.
So much lint.
And that is a very linty material. It's going to, so anytime you use flannel, clean your bobbin area out after you're finished, because that's going to be kind of a mess, even if it's just one project and it wasn't very big. That's my opinion.
Okay, so that's very good. And then as far as, so that was really more your cleaning, but as far as professional cleaning, what do we do with professional cleaning?
Once a year.
Okay. Why do you do once a year?
Because that's what you told me to do.
That's right. As a service technician, a certified Janome certified technician, I have to tell you the recommendation is once a year. Some, like Janome specific machines, there are just a couple machines in their inventory that require the customer to oil some parts here and there. Most of the other machines have, they call them referred to sort of like self-oilers.
Yeah.
They have particular high-end greases and oils that are in the proper places where they should be and do well for the, the year that's
for that
there.
year, yeah.
You don't have to worry about doing all that. But when you get to that year mark, it's really strongly recommended that you take that machine into your service tech so that they can open it up, make sure everything's clean inside, and then add oil, replenish what is currently there, and also swap out greases that may be there as well. Okay? So I'm going to talk to you, though, about some of the things that you can do with your machine if you've never done anything with your machine ever
So
before.
how do you know if you're supposed to oil it or not oil it? That your manual says
Your
so?
manual absolutely will tell you
Yeah.
about oiling. And generally there's a section in most manuals that say, do not oil this machine.
Yeah.
Or it will say, and you'll actually have a little bottle of oil that
They
came
will
with
have given you
your-
oil if you need oil, right?
Right. Pay attention to that. If you have a little bottle of oil that came with it,
If you're like, what is this for? Meh.
throw it away. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oil? I don't need no oil.
Also, in the conversation of oil, if you're one of those people that has to oil your own machine, don't just use any random oil out there. You can't go grabbing 3-in-1. You want sewing machine
Vegetable oil.
oil. Don't go grabbing vegetable oil. Don't go grabbing baby oil just to make it smell pretty. No. It has to be sewing machine oil. This is a very specific lubricant. If you use anything different, it will gum up the machine and it will stop working on you, and then you'll be very sad because you're going to pay more money for somebody to fix it or to buy a new machine. Which is fine, I guess, if you want to buy a new machine. Absolutely, I'm here for you.
We have had, we've had people bring in machines like the old Singer featherweights.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, you're supposed to oil them? I'm like, every time you use them. I've had this for 15 years and I've never oiled it. And I'm like, okay, that's why it sounds like that. It's just, we don't know what we don't know, right? And so it's good to talk about it.
Right. And, kind of like Susan said here, she's got a 45-plus-year-old vintage Singer.
Oh, yeah.
Maintenance is very easy. Yes, a lot of those older machines were intended to be very at-home take care of. They have instruction manuals that, you can find online. There are shops that do specifically deal with the vintage machines, and they can give you that self-help information.
Right.
I'm going to tell you right now, newer machines are not the same as the old vintage ones.
Right.
They are packed full and into a tiny space, and there's wires and things.
Yeah.
I don't encourage having people just take those apart.
Right, because electronics.
Not always fun to play with. So, let's see here. I want to see if I have any conversation ready to think about. So Jane, anytime she sees lint in the feed dog, she cleans it. She likes to take those little globs of lint out. Right? I get it.
Smart.
Janet cleans often but still finds it valuable to send it service professionally yearly. Yes, absolutely. Very strong recommendation. And then you got Joni when she goes to quilt retreat twice a year, or when she gets an error code. I get it.
Yep.
That's usually when I see most machines. Some sort of error code. Jason, this isn't acting right. You are correct. And also, good morning, Jackie, over there in hot Indiana. Sorry, we have it over here as well, so only so much sympathy.
And I think we missed Karen, too.
Did I? Karen!
Good morning.
Good morning. All right. So I brought in this here lovely machine. This would be the Travel Mate 30 from Janome. This is a cute little red travel machine.
Everyone, raise your hand if you have one of these. Because
we have this one.
I guarantee that there's like lots of people with their hands
so many of these red machines, and there are
They're so cute.
there. They're fantastic. So the reason I brought this one out is because this one's pretty standard and familiar to a lot of folks as far as basic setup and design with your machine that you have. Okay, so real simple thing is the majority of the cleaning that really gets done is mostly inside of here, the hook area, the bobbin area, right? Let me tilt that towards that. You see that okay?
Yeah.
This is your needle plate, okay? So we are going to have to get in there. And so you're going to have to get a screwdriver or something to get inside of that. Now,
Well, it should have came with one.
It should have come with one. Victoria has an image of one that's a little self screwdriver thing that usually comes in a little packet. And they can look at any sort of variable size. This is very weird looking, but
Some kind of triangle situation.
yeah.
And I have said, what the heck is this piece of metal?
Yeah, she's definitely been like, no.
I don't think, I think that they somehow broke something
Yeah,
off and threw it in my
there.
bag.
Just random piece of metal. What is this? Anyway. Or you can always go find yourself a cute little screwdriver that works just the same. Flathead typically.
What is this?
This was something made by an individual. He was going to
nice.
start selling these. I haven't seen him since, so I don't know if he's still doing that or not. Anyway. So for this instance, there was 2 screws that hold this into place. We're going to loosen them and take that out. Don't lose them. Please don't lose them. All right. Also, before I got any farther, I should have stopped and let's back up. Hold on. Rule number one, if you're going to put your hand down here by this needle and you're going to do this stuff, turn the machine off.
Take it.
Disconnect the power. Please, for the love of everything, you do not want to push the wrong button like I did a couple weeks ago and sew yourself to your machine. You'll cry. I'm told you'll cry. I've never, maybe once.
He cried.
May have invented some words also. Unless you have one of those machines that you can push a little like key button that locks the machine. That way you still have it illuminated, which is super helpful.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever you do, make sure this machine is set to a situation where it cannot and will not sew your finger in. Number 2, take your feet and your needle out. Because if somehow something fails and you still have this plugged in and you hit that start button and suddenly it decides to stitch,
Not going to get you.
if you don't have that needle in there, it can't sew you in.
See, this seems like a lot of work. I don't know if I'm going to clean
Just
it.
some safety precautions, guys. Just some safety thing. I just don't want to hear the stories. Well, I did what you said. It sewed my finger.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So also, when you go to clean it, sometimes it's like time to change the needle too. So take the needle out.
Yeah, I mean, because really,
Then do the cleaning. Put it back together. Put a
if
new
you
needle.
get sewn by with any sort of needle, it's so much nicer to be a sharp, clean needle.
Right. We want a sharp needle going through our finger. No.
You don't want that dull, boring old needle smashing through your finger. You don't. And if you're cringing right now, that's an appropriate response. So with my foot up and I've got these 2 screws out of this, I'm going to just take this little needle plate and I'm going to slide it out. And I'm at a really awkward angle, so this is working really well for me.
Backwards and sideways. And
Thank you. So that's your needle plate. Okay, we're going to just take that and just set that down politely right now for now. Okay.
what?
Now,
is
when we
this
open this
machine?
up, Victoria has an image for me. I believe it should be number 1. Let's see what it looks like.
This one?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. It should be the packed one. That's what we hope it looks like.
Right.
This one?
However, if your machine looks like this,
Sometimes that happens.
listen, love you guys.
Yeah.
But this is what we want to avoid.
Right.
And this is not to shame anybody. If you know whose machine this is, I don't remember. This is a couple-year-old photo. But this is what we want to avoid.
Yeah.
Okay. If you open it up and it looks like that, for those of you that get satisfaction from pulling lint out of the feed dogs,
Yeah.
this is what you hope to find.
Yeah, no.
As a service guy, I don't ever want this ever because it's a
Right.
lot of lint. So when you do that, you open that up. My first recommendation to you is just clean off everything that you can reach initially. Okay. Little cleaning brushes are fantastic. If you don't have a set of these with you, I would recommend getting you some of these. I also am a big fan of a little handheld vacuum.
Because you can suck it out, but don't blow.
Probably
Don't
did not
blow
pick that up.
into.
Yes.
The-
Do not grab the compressed air.
Right. Oh, that'll get it out.
Please don't.
Now it's somewhere else,
It is
but probably
where it
like
doesn't belong.
in the motor area.
Don't do that.
We don't want.
So, clean out what you can reach and see inside of your bobbin area. Do not take those little brushes and start digging down in there.
You know why he looked at me? Because
Why?
that's what I do.
Well,
I dig down in there. I don't want any of that lint anywhere.
I have to say with caution, because here's the thing. These feed dogs that move back and forth, there's little springs in there.
Yeah.
And if you unhook one of those, then I get to put it back in. And
Show them your fingers. See, they're not tiny.
They're not. And those little tiny spaces don't work for
So
me.
getting in there with the.
So
He's asking you
please
to don't make extra work for him.
don't
okay?
dig into the machine. Because even if it's not me, you have a different service guy, don't do that. Okay? Once you've got it all kind of cleaned up, Victoria, you can go to that next one, and you want your area to kind of look a little bit more like this. Ta-da!
Ah, much
A little bit
better.
cleaner,
Much
right?
better.
Less packed full of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this bobbin case out. Okay? And so for those of you that don't know, whoop, that just came right out. Sometimes the bobbin string will hold on to it. This dude right here is your bobbin case.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That sits down inside of here. Well, when we lift that out, I should have an image there of a dirty one. You're going to see
dirty raceway.
that raceway. You can see there's some lint built up in there.
Yeah.
Kind of around the outside edges. What we don't want to do is leave that in there.
Right.
Because that lint can actually kind of dislodge the bobbin a bit. Bobbin case.
If it gets packed underneath there, it can wobble. Make your thing
and
wobble.
Things will
and
get bad.
then you're
and
putting
noisy.
a needle into the bobbin case. That's no good.
No bueno. Okay? So you're going to clean that out. Again, use your little brushes. Your vacuum may fit a little bit, but, you know, don't get aggressive with it. So clean all that out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, inside of there should be just an image, Victoria, of just that little center piece.
The wick?
Mm-hmm.
Is that this one?
Yeah. So, right there in the dead center of that round white circle,
Mm-hmm.
right in the very center,
Yeah.
it looks like there might be a piece of foam or something right
It's
there.
like lint. I need to get it out.
It looks like lint, and your brain's going to say, get that out, because lint's going to kind of build up on there as the machine's running, so it's going to
Yeah.
have a layer of lint on it.
Right.
Do not dig that out. Please don't. I'm not saying there may be a couple machines at our house from pre-Jason being a service tech.
That have
Somebody may have aggressively cleaned their
I
machine.
can't help it.
Because
Okay.
what is this
I didn't
lint
know.
in there? How did it get in there? How is so much in there?
So I hope
Well-
you guys understand that, like, I feel like I am the majority. Of
I mean, we
people
grow and learn all the same. We've all
right?
been through this at some
who
point.
at first was like, you don't have to take that apart. It's fine. It'll run forever. Oh, now it's not feeding
that's not
anymore.
feeding.
Huh. Okay, maybe I can take it apart. Oh, look, now here, what is this thing? And pull. Anyway, that wick is what now? Tell me about it.
It is an oiler. Okay. Every year when I service the machine, I'll add a drop or two of oil to that, and that will absorb that oil, and then over the course of the next year, we'll disperse it appropriately to the parts of the machine in that area that need that oil. If that oil wick is not there, then, well, it's not going to get the oil it needs when
Right.
it needs it. So, do your best to not dig that out.
So
Now, this machine,
I already
luckily,
did. So can that be replaced?
it can be replaced. I just don't like doing it. Inside of here, on this particular machine, it's a solid piece of metal. So if you have the little red machine,
They got
you
really
don't have
smart
this
and covered
here.
that up.
Right. Anyway, super important on that end, okay? So just clean as much as you can. Again, don't dig. And just be very cautious about what you're doing.
Can I
Okay.
just say, I love this day
Why?
because generally I'm the one who has to be serious, and you're like, to me, we get to play reverse roles today.
I
You're
mean,
trying to be serious and talk about machine maintenance.
serious
and
to a degree.
how-
I don't want you
how
messing up your machine.
majority, you know,
She's over here trying to rip stuff out.
I'm
You're
like-
right.
yeah, anyway.
Anyway. Have you hit that share button yet? Are you trying to let people know about us or nonsense?
Maybe I'm not as good of a comic relief as
You're doing
you are.
great.
Okay, thanks.
I'm enjoying the process.
Okay.
It's fine. All right. So once you've got that all cleaned out, we're going to put our bobbin case back in. Where did I put it? That's usually how it goes in reality.
Mhm.
Where did that go? I don't know. Keep it nearby. Don't get up and walk in to feed the dogs and then leave it in
I
the
was
kitchen
just
or the
thinking about
refrigerator.
dogs and their sniff, and I'm
Suddenly
like,
it's in the
"What?
freezer."
Uh-huh.
The important thing is that you want to put this back in the correct way. What I do also recommend before ever having taken this out, take a picture.
Yeah.
That way you know, oh yeah, I need that thing pointing back at me or whatever. Okay. In the case of Janome, you have this little, and most machines are actually this way when it comes to these black bobbins. These are pretty standard issue for most top loading machines.
Mhm.
The cutout part here is going to slide in towards the needle. We're just going to set that down in there. Okay. The idea is, I'll turn that a little bit. That little block right there, it's going to catch this bobbin case so it doesn't spin past it. So if you just wobble that little bobbin case a little bit,
Mhm.
and it doesn't, or it stops at a certain point, you probably did all right. and making sure it's nice and flat. Just kind of make sure it's seated properly.
Also, when you get everything back together and you put your bobbin in, if you're like, oh, I don't have my thing to put the bobbin thread through, you've probably got it in backwards. It's hard to get it in the wrong way.
It's difficult to put it in backwards.
But if you're like, wait, something is wrong, don't start sewing. Like get back in there, try again.
Make sure it's right.
Make sure it's right.
For sure. And then last but not least, before you put the needle plate back on, you're going to double check those feed dogs. That's these guys here at the back of your machine. Here's one that's out. So those little grooves in there, hide your face. Technology. There we go. These grooves here will pack full of lint. Like it's impressive how much lint will build up inside of those.
A lot.
And these are the things that most people are like, my machine's not sewing right anymore. Because those are packed full of lint. And this is the part that Jane said she was cleaning that lint packed out of there. Oh, it's almost like a felt.
Right. And they will hold a lot.
They do. They hold quite a bit.
I mean, it is a lot of lint before it's actually going to stop working.
Stop working. Unlikely that it's going to stop. What I've actually seen happen is the needle plate, as the machine's running, will actually like bulge upwards as the feed dogs push against it. It's really wild.
I've also had where it's just like it's not wanting to go over seams as well anymore, or things like that. You'll start noticing minor
inconsistencies and stuff. Yeah,
and then you'll go, okay, this is definitely
right.
Worse.
So then we're going to just slide that back in, making sure that that trap door that your bobbin falls into is where it's supposed to be. You're going to get your little screws that you took out in the first place, put them there. I've had people come in and say, hey, I've dropped my screws down inside of that opening before.
That happens.
I recommend don't bring them over until the needle plate's back where it belongs. That way you don't accidentally drop it down in there.
What now?
I've had somebody that had one of these, they dropped it down inside.
Right.
I would wait till you
put that back on there if they don't have it.
I know.
Say again.
Okay.
I'm listening now.
No, she's
Maybe
not.
I wasn't listening before.
Fine. If you happen to have one of these little dudes in your hand and you come over here and you're holding it and fiddling with the needle plate, you could drop this into your machine.
Oh, and then you got two in there?
Don't do that. So put this in after your needle plate's where it belongs. Okay. So you don't accidentally drop a screw down into your machine.
But you've already dropped one in.
No, we're not going to. Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do it at all.
We're keeping you from doing that, I see.
But let's say you did.
Right.
What do you do?
Well, I can't come over because I don't have the plate on. You told me I can't bring it.
God help me.
Okay, you're going to put the plate on with one of the screws and do the best you can.
I'm going to recommend that you just call your service person at that point and see if they have one in stock. One. You do not want your plate loose and moving because that's a bad situation waiting to happen.
I have had people sew with one screw on because they lost the other one and it's rattling in there as they sew.
Correct.
Also not good.
Not good, but hear me out. Here's the thing. I've had people drop a needle through also just the same. Also a possibility can happen.
Yeah. Also not good, but
underneath here, this little belly, there's room there, okay? So if you accidentally drop a screw, you accidentally drop a needle. Personally, what I would do is I would take the hand wheel and I would turn it a little bit, kind of make sure that if it's in there on top of something, it kind of like wiggles itself loose. And if you hear it rattling around, it's probably rattling around in that little belly.
Okay, yeah.
Not great, but it'll be fine.
Right.
But make sure you take it to get it serviced and get those things taken out. Don't chance that too much. But yeah, if you drop one of these in there, don't run it with just one securing screw, please. Don't do that.
The whole thing shifts.
It's a terrible, terrible prospect waiting to happen.
Could be bad.
Could be real bad. Don't do that.
We don't want bad.
Okay. Put it back together. Tighten that up. Your inside your bobbin area should now be cleanish. Again, it doesn't have to be immaculate. You may still see lint under there. Again, that's why you take it in for service to get all the rest of that cleaned out because you're going to get everything else under there oiled. Okay? Also,
well, how do I get in underneath here?
No.
Exactly. How do I get in up here? I want to...
Now here, that was the next step of the conversation.
Okay, great.
Okay, because what you'll notice too is that as you're sewing, you'll see lint build up on the top of your needle bar. You can, again, while the machine is off or properly secured, you can clean that off with a nice brush, get that lint buildup off. Some machines, this hood opens up.
Right.
This particular machine does not. And I don't generally encourage people to take panels off if you're not accustomed to doing it, because I don't want you to break this.
Right.
Okay. But if you have a hinged door on it and you want to swing that open, because you can, you'll see some lint. This does not pick up near as much lint as this does down here.
Right.
Okay. So you can swing that open and you can kind of brush clean what you see.
Yeah, but there are lots of electronics in there. You do not want to be fiddling around.
There's some real important intricate metal pieces up here. You don't want to fight up there a whole lot. Again, can brush clean what you want, but just kind of generally be aware of that.
Yeah.
Just don't get in there too much. So there was a couple questions that had popped up, and I got a few more things to talk about, but let's talk about those real quick.
All right.
As far as a vacuum for cleaning, Karen, this honestly, so far, has probably been my most favorite. It's an Amazon find. I don't even know how much we paid for it. The thing is, to get something that works.
So I know that I wanted it to be wireless. Like you charge it, but then it doesn't have to be. So I just looked up handheld vacuums that were, wireless or battery operated, So, and I looked at how many attachments does it have? Does it look like you can get down into a machine? So, and also I don't think it was very much. Maybe it was $30 or so. It was not very expensive. And I got it so that I could go, okay, if this works, that's great. If it doesn't work for him, we're out $30. Who cares?
Right. And we have two of them. I use one in my service area, and they have one on the floor for
when we
Minky.
cut Minky. Yep. When we cut Cuddle, we always vacuum it before we move it so it doesn't go everywhere.
And I think this is maybe like the second or third handheld vacuum we've had, because the other ones just didn't cut it. So for one reason or another. So I think that's just kind of a nightmare we all get to fight.
And yeah, it's I don't have a brand or something.
Maybe we need a Dyson.
If there was a Dyson handheld, we'd already
sure there is.
Okay, well, I'll look. Don't you worry.
This one works just fine.
Okay.
Susan, magnet on a stick is a lifesaver. I would agree. If you have something like that, again, strongly encourage, though, don't dig. Like, if it's just there at the top and you can get just enough to it that it grabs it and pulls it out, awesome.
But
otherwise, don't dig.
But also magnets next to electronic machines, is that a bad idea?
No, not generally.
Okay.
Technology's come a long way from what it used to be.
Okay.
Most of your technical brain is in the back part of the machine.
Okay.
Most, I say, generally speaking, that doesn't mean there aren't some towards the front. Just be mindful. Don't bring in a super electromagnet and be like, huh, you said it was fine. No. Nope.
Right.
Be mindful of that. Carol had turned the machine upside down before to get an object out, and it worked, but dang, it was heavy. Yeah, I mean, you can do that. Generally, though, turning a machine upside down and shaking it generally just goes against probably the best idea.
But sometimes you can hear it and you can.
I say that.
Get it.
It's more of a disclaimer because I'm not saying I've done it.
He has. He's done it.
It's happened. So sometimes you do what you have to. Just be careful, mainly because like nothing worse than having that thing upside down and your hand slip, and now you've got
and if I could say, it's not your, travel machine that's a couple $100 that this happens to.
No, it's always
your
big guy.
Big guy that's at home that's heavy, multi-$1,000 piece of machinery,
right?
That you've now got to carry into the dealer or whatever. So
right.
Yeah, if you can get it out, you get it out.
Right. So once you get everything back in, it's secured, you clean that top, the hood, all that stuff, you pretty much have it about as clean as you need to do for maintenance servicey part. Again, consult with your manual. Again, every brand's a little different. I cannot tell you about all the other brands. I can generally only speak to Janome brand machines. That'd be the Elna, New Home, Necky guys. Generally, you don't need to do any oiling on your side. Okay. But the next part of that then is you took that needle out initially.
Yeah.
So you didn't poke yourself.
Right.
Put the new and correct needle back in. You saw I said a new needle back in? You took it out. Why you go put that used one back in there? Stop it.
I only use it for like 6 projects. Why can't I still use?
Stop it. Needles are generally inexpensive compared to the cost of the machine and the pain that it causes and the obnoxiousness it causes you when you're ready to throw it out the window. Don't let the machine win like that. Just don't. Okay. The problem is that that's a whole nother conversation. Like, I just went out to the sales floor and I grabbed things. Okay.
Needles.
There's so much needles. And these are all generally the same idea, just in different packaging and different brands. So, what do you need? I do want that, but I'll have to get it later. Generally, when we're sewing, I don't mind a universal needle for piecing.
I do. But anyway.
You do? What do you prefer?
It does. It's fine.
A piecing and quilting needle?
Yeah.
Or a Janome blue needle?
I like the blue needles the best.
I'm a big fan of the blue tip needles from Janome.
Mm-hmm.
These are 11s.
I prefer an 11 and a sharp.
Correct.
You know.
And that is general recommendation. 11 or a 12 to 14 is what they recommend. 11 does really well for piecing, just the same. If you're going to be quilting, putting some pieces together, I read that you would be recommended to use a microtex and 14 to 16.
Yeah.
Which, something like this where the Schmetz does that. A purple
so
needle
it has
from Janome is a
multi,
14.
right? It's a multi-pack.
That's
so
a multi-pack.
Your 11s, 12s, and 14s all in one pack.
Right. And it has to do with how the needle is created. What is it trying to accomplish? Are you trying to go through wovens? Are you trying to go through knits? Are you doing embroidery work? Are you doing quilting? Are you doing leather? Are you working with denim? There's so many different variables, and there's just
a needle for each one. And you have to go to school for needles, I guess.
Almost have to. You almost have to. But I did learn today when it says this says 1175. I don't know what the 11 means. That's the American measurement.
Right, because it's probably 11
somethings.
Toasted raviolis.
It's kind of like shoe size.
Yeah.
Especially for women's shoe size. We don't really know what it means. Here's a 7 in women, but it's actually like a 45 in men. You don't know. Anyway, I really don't know. I'm making stuff up. A 75, though, stands for millimeters. So 0.75 millimeters is what that stands for. I still couldn't find an answer on what the 11 actually stands for.
Yeah,
thanks, guys. Because we can't standardize anything in this process without making it chaos for everybody. So anyway, find a right needle. If you don't know which needle you need, what is the purple needle for? That's a great question, Pat.
I'm so glad you asked.
Janome's purple needle. It's a size 14, and it's kind of a flared head. So it's almost like a ballpoint, but a little bit more flared than a ballpoint.
So it's like a cobra. It's like a flared head. So I use that all the time for my binding. I feel like binding is one of those things. You're going through, not only are you going through the whole quilt, you have 2 layers of fabric on the back that have flipped over and 2 more layers of fabric on the top. That's a lot.
It is.
I love the purple needle for that, for binding.
The principle there that we're working with is that your needle is supposed to accommodate your thread appropriately. So if you use a really 100 weight thread and you have a 14 needle, the eye of that needle is going to be making a giant hole, and that thread's going to be womping all over the place, and things are going to get real ugly.
That is a very large needle size for a very skinny thread.
Right. Opposite end of the spectrum, if you have a size 10 needle and you have a size 30 thread, that's a very fat thread and very thin needle, and you're going to have problems there as well.
Right.
So,
it doesn't want to go through, right?
And also, depending on what you're going through, you don't want a size 18 needle smashing through a silk fabric.
Right. Making big
holes.
holes.
Terrible. So you got to be able to plan what size needle you need for what project you're doing. So for quilting, the size 14 needles are a little bit thicker, and you're going through multiple layers of woven. So what it's going to do is it's going to create a hole big enough to drag the thread through properly.
Right.
So that a stitch can be properly created, and you don't have to fight and struggle with it.
Exactly.
So use the right size needle and the appropriate setting that you're trying to do. If you're going to do some free motion quilting with your machine or something of that nature, that's what you're going to want those for. If you're just putting pieces of cotton together, making a quilt top, I like the purple tips for the blue tips for that.
Right.
Okay. Ooh, again, needles. That's a whole video. I've kind of done it once before. I don't know that I did it justice. I feel like I probably need to actually.
We need a needle guy to come in and.
Well, and Sadie referenced it. I forgot we have it. We do have a pocketbook for needles.
Oh, we do.
It's a very helpful book because there is so much regarding needles and their needle systems. I do encourage you to get that in your life if you don't have it.
Right.
Anyway, at this point though, the gist of it is generally clean your machine. Make sure you take it in for service. I can't stress that enough.
Yep.
I do know, I've had people tell me that somebody told them that they could use compressed air on their machine because they said, "Oh no, you'll be back to bring it for service in a year."
And I'll get in there and clean it.
That's kind of self-prophesying because yeah, go ahead, use a compressed air because you're going to bring it back to me in a year for service anyway.
Right.
Really?
And then I'm going to tell you need a new machine.
Right.
No good.
Yeah, so it's insane.
Right.
We
we want you to keep using your machine for a long time until you're ready for the next round of excellent
Right. It's like
features.
preventive care.
Yeah.
You don't work out because it's fun. It's preventative. Help you stay healthy longer.
Right.
You take it to the doctor. You go to the doctor, get checked out to make sure you're good. You
Right.
take it to the service tech to make sure it's good.
Mhm.
NBD.
Right.
Fine. Yes, 11 standard measurement. Thank you, Miss Rebecca. Joyce got that little book and still learned a lot today. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Way to go. See? Saving lives, making lives better every Saturday since 2020.
I hope you wrote that down, Victoria.
Yep.
She didn't. She wasn't even listening. All right. Well, anyway, also, I would like to point out to you guys while we're still talking about machines, I did get notification this week from Janome. Machine prices are going up across the board July 1st. So if you've been on the fence about getting a new sewing machine, today is really the day to do it, but also this coming week if you haven't, or not going to make it within the day because you got, sports stuff and it's just hot outside. Don't forget, HandiQuilters are going up 1st of July. Also, I have no ability to stop this. I've tried. All I can do is sell you a machine now. So if you've been on the fence about doing it, get in here today. Let's talk.
I will tell you that we bought a couple extra blue machines.
We do. We have a couple of blue machines.
So we showed you the red one here today, but the blue machine is just the next one up, has a couple more features.
Yeah.
And we got a couple in stock so that we would have some before the price increase.
Yeah, because it's coming. It's not
And
an
those tend to be our biggest selling.
They really are. So anyway, at this point, I don't have a whole lot more to add unless you got anything else you want to add.
I don't think so.
You good over there, Miss Victoria?
Yeah.
Cool. We are done then. So we're going to get out of here.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.